News 8 at sunrise in high definition continues.
CPA Dave Young is back with us. Dave, good to see you.
Oh, thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're talking about differences this morning, the differences between a pension and a 401k, 403b. Let's start with pensions and just kind of their characteristics and some of the advantages they present.
Okay, well, one characteristic of a pension is typically guaranteed payment. So you're going to work for a period of time, and at the end of that period, you're going to get a monthly amount, typically guaranteed. It's supposed to be guaranteed, and there's little or no maintenance. So it's, you know, during the accumulation period, it's your employer's contributing to it, and it's sort of behind the scenes, and you're not really doing any managing of it. And it's as I mentioned, your employer is typically putting the vast majority of the money in there. In some cases, you're putting part of the money in, but most of the onus is actually on your employer.
And we should make a note that when you participate, that is mandatory.
That is mandatory. You don't have a choice. It's behind the scenes. It's part of your salary package. So you're going to get a wage plus a contribution to your pension plan.
You do get the payoff at the end. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's shift gears and talk a little bit about 401ks and 403bs and some of their advantages.
They're much more popular. You see them much more often. The pensions are sort of a dinosaur. You see those pensions with government, mostly government or larger employers. The 403b, the 401k, you'll see that more often. And that's you and your employer both putting money in. It's much more flexible. It's much more one of those programs where you have to choose the investments yourself. So the onus is on the employee to contribute his own funds. Every year, the government allows you to put first so much of your own wage in, and the employer will typically match.
And you have control over your money, and that's sort of one of the things here is that there's more flexibility.
Much more flexibility, especially in an area where your people are changing jobs. You might work at an employer for 5 or 10 years and then move to a different employer. You can take those monies from your 401k or 403b and put it in an IRA. You could leave it there. You could possibly take it to your next employer, but it's portable. Unlike a pension plan where it stayed with the employer, your 401k is much more mobile.
You can borrow against it as well if need be.
You can. You can borrow up to a certain amount of money typically. And you can also take money prematurely, which there would be a penalty. So, of course, I would not recommend that.
Right.
And you can stop contributing it. So, whereas the pension plan, you're going to be forced to contribute a certain amount of money, potentially the 401k, the 403b, you could stop your own contributions. Mind you, if you do that, your employer contributions may also go down. So I would not recommend that as a course of action.
In terms of when the payout comes at 59.5, let's just articulate the differences between the two options.
Okay, so with a pension, you're going to typically get an amount of money beginning, at a certain age, and it's going to be turned on, and it's going to be on for the rest of your life. Possibly if you pass away, maybe your spouse could get the remainder. With a 401k, at 59.5, you're eligible to take that money, but you're not required to take that money. So let's say you retire and you're age 65 and you have a pile of money. You can take as much or as little money as you want. So you have a lot more flexibility as to how much money you're taking into income each year.
So flexibility, again, a factor there. Dave, thank you. Great conversation this morning.
Thank you.
If you missed any of this, we'll share it on our website as well at rochesterfirst.com. You'll also find links to Dave's site, youngandcompany.net, as well as the State Society at nysscpa.org.